Some tips when you're first starting out is to make sure that your slip knot is not too tight, because then it's going to be hard to get your hook back through the hole. So you want to make sure that it's a little bit looser and that you've got some space there to get your hook through. If the loop is too loose, that's not a big deal, because at the end of the row when you're finished, you can always pull on the tail to tighten that last one up. Another thing is, if you're holding the tail and then you yarn over and go to pull through, that can tighten up the knot so that you won't have that space that I mentioned, and you won't be able to get your hook through very easily. So make sure that your knot is loose, and then I like to hold the knot with my middle finger and my thumb, and that way when I pull on this, it's not going to tighten up, and then yarn over and pull through. And then you can even go up and grab the stitch that you just made with those same fingers, and then you can be able to adjust easily without moving the other stitches around. And you can do that for each one, especially if you're having trouble getting consistent stitches. You don't want them to be too loose or too tight, but really the biggest key is to make sure that they're consistent. If they're all tight or they're all loose, then your project is still going to look fine. But if you have a mixture of loose and tight, then it might get wavy or warped or just not look quite how you want it to. Another thing you can do if you're having problems figuring out where your hook is supposed to go, or the different techniques that you need to do, is you can take a larger size hook. So this calls for 5.5, which is what this hook is, but you could even use, say, like a 6.5 to make the same stitches. And by using a larger hook like this, then you're going to have these larger stitches where you can see all the holes and you can see where your hook needs to go. Whereas down here, everything's a little bit tighter and closer together, and so it might be harder for you to figure out where your hook is supposed to go. So you can start out practicing with something larger, and even though this might be bigger than what you would really want it to be, and it might look a little bit holier, you can just use that for practicing, and then once you get the hang of that, you can go back and try it with the smaller size.